So in today's video, I've got just one job for the van build, and that is getting this solar panel on the roof. So I'll start off by showing you pretty much how I'm going to do it and what I've bought. So we'll start off with the beast itself, the solar panel. This is a 160 watt solar panel. I bought this on eBay and I'll put it in the link below if anyone's interested. The main reason why I've bought 160 watts is just to try and maximize the amount of solar panel I'm going to be getting from the roof of the van. I was just going to get a 100 watt solar panel, but I figured I'll spend a little bit more. I think this was 120 quid. I'll spend a little bit more just to maximize the amount of power I'm going to be getting down into the battery, into the jackery, which by the way is charging at the moment. I'll show you. There we go, get a look at that. So it's on 99%. It's actually nearly finished charging already, but I've just got one of the 100 watt solar panels charging that at the minute. And yeah, so on the top of the van, I really only wanted one solar panel. That was always the plan. I never wanted more than one. And I've just got a nice space to the left-hand side of my Flettner vent up there. And I just figured I may as well get the biggest physical size solar panel as well to put it up there, and then that's job done. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Also, I like the fact that it's like black. It's just a small detail, but a lot of them are that sort of navy blue sort of colour. And I just prefer this because there seems to have been an inadvertent colour scheme going on with this van, which is just obviously blue, can't get away from that, and black as well. And on that note, this is how I'm going to be, attaching the solar panel to the top. I've purchased these things here. I think these were actually off Amazon, maybe eBay. Again, I'll put it all in the link. I'll put the links in the video description below, sorry. So you can probably see how this is going to work. These corners are going to go, obviously I'm going to measure it all out. Something like that on the roof of the van. Obviously a little bit further apart than that. And then these are just going to sit in the middle. And then the solar panel is going to fit nice and flush in these sections. And then I'll be drilling through here so that the solar panel stays bolted to these. As for how I'm going to get these to stay on the van, this beast here, which everybody seems to use, look at that. It's even got a picture of a van and a solar panel on the photograph. Basically just really, really strong adhesive that's waterproof, and it's just going to make sure that these beasts really do stick to the roof of the van. So that's brilliant. To be honest, like I said, this whole video is going to be me doing the solar panel onto the roof of the van, sorry. But I think today, for me, all I'm really going to be doing is sticking these down with the Sikaflex, just because I think it's going to need to dry for a good old while. Also, I think this is the last thing really, except from obviously things like the drill. I'm going to be drilling through the roof of the van somewhere around there, or maybe on the side somewhere, so that the cables can come down and into the battery, which is going to be around there somewhere. I haven't really decided yet, but as long as I get the cable through, that's all that really matters. And that's what this beast here is, which is where, whoops, the cables, I don't know, again, you can probably imagine this will be on the roof somewhere. Then the cables will go through these sort of ports here. And it's just going to keep it nice and tidy and nice and sort of watertight. So again, this will be stuck down with the Sikaflex. So first things first, I suppose I've got to do a little bit of measuring so as I can get these beasts stuck down. So I think what I'm going to do is, the solar panel came with this piece of foam, and it's not far off, obviously, the actual size of the solar panel. So I'm going to just see, look, taking off them edges there, so it's going to be flat, and then just probably cut this, measure out. Where's my measurements gone? Where have they gone actually? In here. Oh. Either way, cut this out so it's the same measurement of the solar panel, so that I can take this foam up to the top of the van, when I want to do my measurements and everything, and not the solar panel every single time. up. Right, so in the end, I decided to sack off the idea of using the foam as a template on the roof. Purely just because it was making me anxious. I was thinking, I can't think of anything worse than gluing those corners and the sides down, them black things, and then getting the solar panel up there and it doesn't fit. So I just took the hit, lifted the solar panel up, and I've sort of, I wanted to show you more on the roof, but the neighbours will think I'm mad if I'm chatting away to a camera. Yeah, so I just basically used the solar panel as its own template, and then just sort of drew around where I'm going to put the plastic things. I should probably stop calling them that, but you know what I mean. The only thing I'm worried about is there are some kind of like raised areas of the roof. However, I don't think the raise of them is too bad. I don't think it's too much to worry about. I'm hoping anyway, just use a little bit more of the Sikaflex where it dips down a little bit and try and tidy it up afterwards around the sides. It's like half a centimetre or something. So we'll see. So now is the exciting job of gluing them down. Right, so the brackets are stuck onto the roof. It's just over 24 hours later now. I've let that Sikaflex dry. It says leave it to dry between 24 and 48 hours. So I'm kind of at the lower end of that. But honestly, the stuff is so strong. Like I can lean off those brackets, you know, that are stuck down on the roof of the van. And I've been worrying about it all morning, thinking, oh, I might just put a few screws in it or something, you know, just to hold them into place, you know, a bit like belts and braces. But it just feels so strong. And obviously you've got kind of 6 points of contact on the roof over there as well. So the next job, I think, is to drill a hole through the roof of my van, which I'm well excited for. Not. So, that's the sort of thickness of the cable we're looking at. And I don't know, I've got these, I've been out, I'll show you here, I've been out and bought these like rubber grommets. Yeah, there we go, you can see there. So, I don't know, I'll probably, there's obviously a negative and a positive cable. I'll probably drill 2 holes rather than one bigger one and put each cable through separately and just use one of these rubber grommets, which will just I don't know, I just don't want the wires up against the sort of bare metal of the van if I can help it. So final job is going to be bolting the solar panel into those brackets that I've Sikaflexed onto the roof, but for now it's about getting these cables down into a position that's going to be next to where I'm going to be having the battery in the van, obviously. So as you can see, a little bit of a mess. I've had to take off some of the cladding on the ceiling just because I want to make sure it's right where I put this hole through. You can see that little magnet there? That is where it's going to come through, and I've used the magnet along with, hang on, that, a little 2p piece on the top. So as long as I drill around here somewhere, it's good measurement, isn't it? As long as I drill around there somewhere, we'll be alright, but that'll do me. And this is going to go on the top like that as well. And he will be Sikaflex down just the same. So here it goes. So there we go, 1 hole drilled in the van. Or let me show you some actually, because this is a bit of a bigger hole than I first thought I was going to have to do. You remember before that I was talking about the width of the cable, and you know that's what needed to go through the roof, whereas in fact it was this, you know, the plug for the end of the solar panel, and I just couldn't find a way of getting this off so that I was only dealing with the cable, if that makes sense. So I was, in the end, it felt like anyway, I was left with no choice. I had to cater for that thickness, but it doesn't really make a difference because I can still, I mean, I haven't got any rubber grommets that are big enough, but I'll just have to adapt them and cut them so they fit around that hole because I do want that to have that nice rubber seal for the cables to go through. And then of course we've got that little plastic piece that's going to go on top of the hole anyway, and that's going to keep it all weather sealed, weather tight. So it doesn't really matter that the hole's bigger, and it's done now. That's probably the worst part of the job done. So what I'm going to do now is just tidy up that hole, probably put a little bit of paint on it or something as well, and see if we can get the cables fed through. Oh, so I've done it finally. It's took me about 3 hours just to get the cables down into the van properly. The big problem was that sort of plastic bracket, the cable entry gland that had these bits where the wires were meant to go through there, and I couldn't use these sections because the ends, it was the same problem with when I was running through the van. The ends of the cables were too big to fit through there, and without cutting the wires, which I really didn't want to do, I just could not figure out a way to get them ends off so they'd fit through there on the solar panel cables. So what I've done is actually just disregarded these altogether, still used the cable entry gland, like the whole structure, and just used the Sikaflex. So, you know what, it doesn't look great. It looked a lot worse when it all first went on, but it's going to do the job. It's going to be safe, which is the main thing, and it's going to be practical, as in, you know, no water's going to be able to get down there or anything like that. I've tidied it up a little bit now. Flat out with some like white spirits. The Sikaflex stuff is horrible when it starts getting everywhere. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it looks now. Now, next up is, dare I say it, the final job. Bolting the solar panel into them plastic brackets that are already on the roof. Wish me luck. So yeah, when I ordered this Sikaflex stuff on Amazon, I was supposed to get black and accidentally ordered white. I just thought the black would look a little bit better. And now that I've used the white, yeah, definitely. So I've bought some like Hammerite paint, and I'm just going to paint over it purely just for aesthetic reasons, no other reason. But I think that'll make a big difference, especially on the entry gland as well, when I paint all that Sikaflex white. Black. So yeah, just before I go, whoa, wrecking the place. Obviously, I'll finish up, put the cladding back on, etc. Quick question for anybody that might be able to help. I'll probably have a little research on the internet as well, but I'll show you this. So there we go, Jackery this is your input here. So we're getting almost 100, it's flicking over 100 every now and again. 100 watts of incoming power, absolutely brilliant through the solar panel, obviously. Now my question is, if anyone can help me, I think it's a lithium ion battery. I should probably have researched that before I ask the question, but if it's at 100%, should I leave it charging? You know, say if I'm out on a hike, I leave the solar panel plugged in, which is what I kind of assumed I was going to do, and then it hits 100%. Should I worry about that? You know, I think it's best to leave it in. I'm not sure, but I'm asking the question. If anybody knows the answer, let me know. But anyway, thanks a lot for joining me on this part of the van build. Hit the subscribe button so you can see more. I'll probably be doing the walls next, cracking on with that. I've got a little bit of carpet actually, so I'd say that's what it'll be. But yeah, cheers for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Out.